teacher is going from one student to another and solving the problem and helping them. And in another case, he is not going to anybody and it is left to the students. Now you see the learning. The learning will be much more in case of the first and it will be the least in the second case. But what about the situations which is in between the two extremes? So that's why it becomes necessary that to know about the feedback system. So I have compiled some slides that will facilitate to understand all these. The ultimate aim is to improve learning, and we adopt various ways and means. And in today's talk, we will discuss concept of feedback, purposes of giving feedback, types of feedback, evaluation and nature of feedback, appropriateness of feedback, what happens, what, when, and how, guidelines for giving appropriate feedback, who provides feedback, role of ICT in providing feedback, and quality concerns of feedback. These are the small subtopics which we will be just touching upon. As we all know, the central purpose of any educational endeavor is to promote learning among learners. That is the basic aim. Keeping this in mind, we must know what is teaching. We are all teachers and teaching in various technical colleges. It is a combination of teacher and student activities supported by the best available resources to produce an atmosphere where learning can take place. And what is learning? We have already discussed this very topic. It is the process of acquiring and integrating various forms of knowledge, skills, and understanding through a systematized process of instruction of organized experiences that the learner may use or apply in later situations under conditions different from those at the time of instruction. The conditions afterwards it will be totally different, and there will be application of this. In precise terms, we can say it is a process of gaining new knowledge or skill. It must include retention of newly acquired capability or behavior so that it can be displayed at the future time. It can also be defined as relatively permanent change in the behavior of individual resulting from the experience. So what is feedback? Feedback, or we can say knowledge of results, is the lifeblood of learning. That is very much clear that for learning to take place, feedback has a very important role to play. Feedback is defined as the information fed back to individuals about appropriateness of their actions and responses. Teacher is teaching, student is listening. In this case, teacher is active and the student is passive. So how do the teacher knows that whether the learning is taking place or not? Till there is a communication between the two. It is giving specific information about person's current behavior in order to help him either continue his behavior or modify the behavior. Here behavior means learning, changes in the attitude and many other capabilities, knowledge and skill also. Feedback is the information that allows students to check the adequacy of their performance and monitor their learning progress. It is given after students have made a genuine effort to respond to a learning task. Suppose a teacher is giving a lecture in the class, but he is not asking anything. He doesn't know if the learners have learnt or not. But in case the students are unable to understand what the teacher is telling, but students are not doing, and students are not reporting, we cannot say that it is a feedback. Feedback is only after the students has performed. Feedback is a part of normal communication process and serves as a regulatory function. It regulates teaching learning process. In the classroom, any form of communication that attempts to provide information to students about quantity and quality of their performance in learning situation is called feedback. Purposes of giving feedback. There are various purposes behind this. It explains what the students have done. It clarifies certain doubts, informs and describes, identifies strengths and weaknesses, diagnoses, differentiates and give remedies. It helps the students to move forward. It motivates, empowers and liberates. Assists in evaluation of the program. After having the feedback, feedback can be in different ways. Performance, suppose a person has attempted certain questions and after that it is evaluated and the teacher gives them marks, but he writes only good or excellent, it doesn't convey anything. If he writes 7 or 8, it doesn't convey anything. Rather, with giving marks, if he gives his comments that here is the requirement, this should have been the answer, some indicators, then it is a proper feedback. It monitors, maintains standards. So we can say that feedback is an integral part of effective instructional process. Feedback, it can be classified broadly into two categories, intrinsic feedback and extrinsic feedback. What is intrinsic feedback? Inherent information about the quality of performance that an individual obtains from within during the process of completing activity. This is called intrinsic feedback. Inherent information. Nobody is supplying from outside, it is from within. And what is extrinsic feedback? Information supplied about the performance of an individual by other persons, about the appropriateness or accuracy of performance. It has three functions: motivation, reinforcement, and information. So the feedback also, if there is a positive feedback, it motivates the student. If there is a negative feedback, it demotivates the students. Reinforcement helps in learning and the information that broadens their area. In classroom communication, extrinsic communication passes from teacher to student and vice versa. From teacher to inform students about responses. From students to inform teachers about students' reaction to instruction. Suppose a teacher teaches and the students say that we are unable to understand. So this is a feedback from the students, or a particular concept. If they don't understand, they will tell to their teachers that please repeat again, or we are unable to understand. So this is a feedback from the students. Or if they are keeping silent, then the teacher has to be very vigilant that he should ask the students or pose a question and comes to know that whether they are learning or not. Another form is knowledge of results. There is a conduct of examination and there is a result. Result is also a feedback of the performance. Both extrinsic feedback and knowledge of results inform the students about the accuracy, appropriateness, and quality of performance in learning situation. So the question comes, why we ask questions? Generally it comes to our mind, our duty is to teach. I will prepare my lecture, deliver it, and don't bother whether it is being accepted by the students or not. It is only my duty that is over. Check the students' understanding of key points. It is the duty of the teacher that to know that the students must understand The key points. Check for mastery of basic concepts. It is also must for the teacher to ensure that the students have mastery over the basic concepts. Encourage critical thinking. By putting questions, he can arouse attention as well as motivation in the students that they will think diversely. Stimulate interaction among students as well as between students and teacher. This is the purpose of questioning. Engages the students in verbal interaction. In classroom, there is a verbal interaction. Teachers draw out inferences from the students, which in turn help the students to reflect on relevant concepts. Once the teacher put questions and he gets some answers, then he draw inferences whether his message has been conveyed to students or what he wanted to tell, whether that has been understood properly or not. There are different forms of extrinsic feedback, that is positive and negative feedback. And what is positive feedback? Positive feedback means to encourage the students to do the same thing again. That is a positive feedback. And if he has to forbid for a certain activity or a certain performance, then he will give the negative feedback to avoid the students not to do it or repeat it again. Reinforcement and punishment. And it's similarly, reinforcement means that if the teacher wants that this is to be repeated, then he will reinforce, he will appreciate the things that is called reinforcement, and they will repeat, in turn repeat the same action. And punishment, that is to stop them, and to give punishment doesn't mean corporal punishment, it is the punishment means to avoid that very activity. Intended and non-intended feedback. It is not intentional. Sometimes it is non-intentional feedback. This is a different type of feedback. Evaluative and non-evaluative. In certain cases, it is evaluated, means some value is given for the performance, and in other case it is non-evaluative. And it is symbolic, verbal, and non-verbal. Symbolic means it is only given some symbol. Suppose, as you seen in the small children, that in the pre-primary classes, the teacher gives them, say, cone, star, 3 star, something to attract the students, their attention, that to do again the similar good job. Verbal and non-verbal feedback. It means sometimes in the class, the teacher gives a smile, a nod, or some he will shake his head in a different way that it is not acceptable. This is the another way of communicating the feedback. Then corrective feedback. This is the feedback for giving corrections. Evaluation and nature of feedback. Evaluation of student performance can be formative, summative, or both. You have already gone through this very topic, that the evaluation can be formative during the process, summative means at the end of the process, and even these can be both. Formative assessment, in which it takes place during the instruction. Students receive feedback which should identify their strengths and weaknesses and also help them to develop strategies for improving their performance. Summative assessment is any assessment which counts towards the final grade, ranking, including both in final examination and formally assessed assignments. The type and amount of feedback will vary depending upon whether it is a formative or summative. Appropriateness of feedback. Our feedback should be appropriate. It should not be vague. The feedback should normally be written and contain structured comments appropriate to the nature of the assignment and the assessment criteria. For every assignment, there should be assessment criteria. As we studied in the case of rubrics, Such comments, whether positive or negative, should provide the basis of improvement and development by students. There must be comments. The appropriateness of the feedback depends on what, when, and how it is provided. I repeat this, the appropriateness of feedback depends on what, when, and how it is provided. The first thing is we must have a good plan for the feedback. And before any feedback, planning is a must. So what we should do? Complete a task analysis before organizing the feedback. Obtain a reliable assessment of students' task performance before giving feedback. First see, assess, then give the feedback. It should not be instant, though it should be immediate, but it should be well thought of. Supply learning material that contains inherent feedback mechanisms. Provide feedback that assists learning. That is our aim. Supply feedback as quickly as possible. It is not that student put a question today and we are answering after 3 days. He has given assignment. We have to assess that and return at the earliest. It is not after a month. The very purpose of evaluation will be lost. When to provide feedback? Give frequent feedback during early stages of learning. जब हमारी लर्निंग शुरू होती है तभी फीडबैक देंगे तो फायदा होगा, बिकॉज दैट विल बी ए reinforcer और पॉजिटिव फीडबैक और नेगेटिव फीडबैक. That will depend upon the activity performance. Give frequent feedback during early stages of learning, not at the end. Encourage students to seek feedback and provide non-threatening environment. Inform students for feedback. It is not to coerce them or to give them threat. It is only to encourage students that they must get feedback. Provide general feedback when group is large. For a group, we give a general feedback. But in case of an individual, we must see that where the person is lacking, and accordingly feedback is given. That must not be given in public. Otherwise, it will demoralize it. How to provide feedback? You are all teachers. May I put a question to you? How to provide feedback? How do you provide feedback? Ganga Engineering College, do you provide feedback to your students? Or it is only one way? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. We are hearing you.
How do you provide feedback to your students?
Hello. Good morning, sir. Hello.
Pardon?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I am hearing you.
Yeah. While discussing the topics in the class, teacher should ask intermittently the questions regarding that topic to the students.
What else?
What else?
But generally, I have listened to some of the colleges.
Teacher can ask the students to relate it to their daily life experiences, like that, so that the students are involved and they will be doing active thinking on that particular subject.
And there is a question between student and the teacher. Do the students ask questions?
Student ask questions. Actually, sir, according to my experience, it is seldom they ask, but you have to activate them, you have to ask them question, you have to involve them into the discussion. Or
That is
I
my
should,
point to ask. In your college, do you allow the students to ask questions? You
yes.
encourage them to ask questions
When I go to my class, I ask them, and if any idiotic question comes to your mind, you are free to ask
at the end of the lecture or in between?
in the starting of the session. In
Starting
the
of the session. But
yes,
how
sir.
the question will come? Once you teach something, then the question will crop up.
लास्ट तूने अभी उन्हीं को बोला रिपीट करें.
Sir, would you repeat once more?
I am asking, do you allow the students to ask questions in between your lecture session or at the end?
Yes, sir. No, sir. I start sometimes I ask the student question in between and at the end of the lecture.
How many students ask questions?
How many questions asked?
That depends on the topic, sir.
Okay. So, what I know a little, I will let you know. Feedback can be oral and written. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Feedback can be oral or in the written form. Written feedback is long lasting. Suppose a teacher gives comments on his assignment, that will be everlasting. Suppose he speaks something, it will be forgotten. Give feedback in small groups having similar difficulties. Be supportive and encouraging. Provide feedback for the task and not for the personal qualities. Sometimes the teacher would start praising a student. That is not the requirement. Requirement is to provide feedback on the task, performance, or what he has performed. Avoid generic symbols. Begin with positive comment. Always, even if we have to give negative feedback, start with a positive comment. Very good, you have done well. Then tell the deficiency where he has to improve upon. Use a general feedback sheet. Give constructive information about strength and weakness. Constructive information. It should not be vague. Provide suggestions for improvement. Then guidelines for giving appropriate feedback. Be descriptive rather than evaluative. It is not only giving 8 out of 10 or writing excellent. Give comments along with. That is the requirement. Be in a way of offering help. Always just like a helping hand. Give corrective measures, corrective mechanism. Ensure clear communication. Suppose a student doesn't understand or a student's question is not understood properly, restate feedback for proper understanding. Be solicited rather than imposed. Feedback is most powerful and requested. It should be given when it is requested. Be specific and performance based. Based on observable behavior. So our feedback should be very specific and performance based. Be well timed. Provide immediate feedback. There should not be delay. Balance negative and positive comments. We must be very careful in giving comments because the tender minds will get hurt with our negative comments. Positive comments for confidence. To enhance their confidence, give positive comments. Be specific rather than general. Avoid general comments. जैसे कि हम क्लास में कहते हैं कि भाई आप सब वीक हो, ऐसे नहीं कहना. उनको बोले को पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट, दिस नीड्स टू बी लिटिल इम्प्रूव. Avoid general comments indicating value judgment. Take care the needs of both receiver and the giver of the input. Feedback should ensure sharing of information, not overload the students. Try to be very brief and be private. It should not be given in public, especially when the feedback is negative. Be a part of regular teaching process. So feedback should be a regular teaching process में होनी चाहिए. It should be part of regular teaching process. Then who provides feedback? Now the question comes, who provides feedback? Also contributes towards the effectiveness. That is self-assessment and peer assessment. Assessment by oneself, student own, and peer assessment means his classmates. The role of ICT in providing feedback. ICT also plays a very important role in providing feedback. There are numerous software packages are available these days which allow students to assess their own progress in the subject and which are not available, and we must utilize them. Another role of ICT is feedback can be delivered information by email or web, but we must be very careful. It should not be open to all. Then quality concerns feedback. We must be very conscious about the quality of feedback. Criteria for assessment. Mode of communication of assessment results. Format of assessment feedback. Extent of assessment feedback. Time frame for submission of assessed work and the provision of feedback. So we must be very careful about the quality of feedback also. Criteria, mode of communication, format of assessment feedback, extent of assessment feedback, then time frame. Inappropriate role models of feedback. There are different types of role models are available for the feedback, and these are existing in among we people. Negligent supporter. The second type is negative contributor. The third one is dilatory grader. Fourth one is feckless diagnostician. So we see one by one. Negligent supporter. Neglect to give student feedback. He says, my duty is to teach. He will not give any feedback to students. Fail to check the students have understood the lesson or not. And this will result in poor learning. Quality of student goes poor. Then negative contributor. Assiduous, that is diligent and ready to give feedback, but always of negative kind. जैसे कि बोलते हैं वो हमेशा तत्पर है फीडबैक देने के लिए. जैसे ही किसी ने कोई एक्शन किया, कोई बात करी या कोई भी असाइनमेंट की, एकदम से उसको नेगेटिव फीडबैक देंगे. और यदि क्लास में आ गया तो किसी ने कोई शरारत कर दी, ही विल स्टार्ट स्पीकिंग और बाकी लोग अंदर कहेंगे ये अब बोर करेगा, ये 15 मिनट तक लेक्चर पिलाता रहेगा. रिजल्ट क्या होगा कि फीडबैक तो दी पर उसका नतीजा क्या निकला कि दैट विल टेल अपॉन द लर्निंग ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स. He is intelligent, ready to give feedback, but the point is he is negative all the time. Spend lot of time in telling errors. किसी स्टूडेंट को पकड़ लिया, उसके ड्रेस से शुरू होके फिर उसकी नॉलेज पे, फिर उसका ट्रेड्स पे, he will start lecturing and will not give an end. That is wasting his as well as the student's time. So student motivation will go down in this process, that is negative contribution. And there is a third type, dilatory grader, जो बात बढ़ा चढ़ा के. Teachers are slow in marking and returning assignments. वो क्या करता है कि असाइनमेंट तो ले लेता है, पर मार्क कर दूंगा, आज कर दूंगा, कल कर दूंगा, पर करता नहीं है। नतीजा क्या होगा? The very purpose of assignment submission is lost, because the students will not get any feedback. They cannot improve upon. They will improve only once they get the feedback. Grades, comments, they give are of little help to the students. जो उनको ग्रेड दिए जाते हैं और या कमेंट दिए जाते हैं, they are of little help to students. Unable to take advantage of the feedback. जो छोटी मोटी फीडबैक दी भी, उसका भी कोई फायदा नहीं. There is another feckless diagnosticians. ये है weak. Teachers have inadequate knowledge of students' problem. Being a teacher, one must be capable or competent enough that he or she must be able to understand the difficulties of the learner. Till he doesn't understand, he will have n number of problems. So they have got the inadequate knowledge of students' problem and unable to provide correctives. तो रिजल्ट क्या होगा? रिलेक्टेंस टू मॉडिफाई देयर टीचिंग स्टाइल. और उनका स्टाइल क्या है कि मैंने तो अपना चेंज नहीं करना, मैं तो ऐसे ही पढ़ाऊँ. तो उस फीडबैक का देने और ना देने का कोई फायदा नहीं होता, क्योंकि उसका एटीट्यूड ही ऐसा है टिल ही अंडरस्टैंड्स द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स. So this was little an overview about the feedback. So we talked about the concept, then types, then evaluation and nature of feedback, then who provides the feedback, role of ICT, and quality concerns. So I think from my side it is over. If you got any question, I am here. Any question, please?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Sir, please
Good afternoon.
explain role of ICT in providing feedback.
Yes.
Sir,
Actually, you
please
must.
explain role of
Yeah, I
ICT
tell you.
in providing feedback.
I give you one example of Thukral University. That is a live example. Every day after the performance, are you listening me? Ah, yes. I am taking the example of Chitkara University, Baddi. They have got a software. They give assignment to a student every day, that is assessed from attendance onwards, regularity, punctuality, their performance in a particular class, and there are columns available. And in the evening, they send this information to the parents. That is a feedback to student as well as to the parents, so that there can be improvement. And in another college, even after the semester, there is no feedback. So that is the role of ICT, that if we adopt certain ways, that it is computerized and it is put on the web, or it is by our emails, that we get information and it's always ready. That is the purpose of ICT, for the feedback. Another question? Anybody else? One thing, what is corrective feedback? Anybody can tell? This is a question from my side. What is corrective feedback? It is nothing but extended form of feedback. Any another question? Mulana, is there anybody?
No,
Yes,
sir.
madam.
No one.
Yes, madam.
Sir, there is no question from participant side. No more
No question.
questions.
Thank you very much. May I put one question? What is the use of feedback? What it will result to? Ganga Engineering College? फीडबैक से क्या होगा?
हाँ जी सर, फीडबैक एज पर माय ओपिनियन, फीडबैक से हम अपना टीचिंग स्किल इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं। जैसा हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को हमसे एक्सपेक्ट है, हम स्टूडेंट के अकॉर्डिंग एडजस्ट करके उसको अपना टॉपिक जल्दी से जल्दी समझा सकते हैं।
दैट्स वेरी गुड। उसके अलावा और क्या होगा?
सर, अगर स्टूडेंट्स को बेहतर तरीके से समझ में आएगा तो जो टॉपिक जो है वो लॉन्ग लास्टिंग तक उसके माइंड में रहेगा और बार बार वो टॉपिक पढ़ाने की जरूरत नहीं होगी, उसके मतलब होंगे।
I endorse the same thing by saying one line that the feedback enhances learning. That was the right answer in 2 words. फीडबैक से जो लर्निंग है स्टूडेंट की वो एनहांस होगी।
जी,
थैंक यू। और बताइए मैडम, डू यू वांट टू आस्क एनी क्वेश्चन?
Sir,
Yes,
feedback
please.
say, so you are asking what is benefit of feedback.
Yes.
Feedback is beneficial for students. It is beneficial for students. They can come to know about their problems. They can improve them. It is also beneficial for teachers. Teachers can also bring improvement in their way or whatever they have done in while assessing their answer sheets. They can improve it, and it is also very beneficial to the parents. If they send progress report to parents, and also it is having a positive effect on students' performance.
Do you give feedback to your students? Do you give feedback to your students? Where are the other participants? I am seeing only few participants sitting. 3 and 3 6. So if no question, no response.
बोलो।
Sir,
गुड मॉर्निंग सर।
actually there is a connection problem.
morning, sir.
Yes, please.
Should I speak, sir?
Loudly, loudly.
Should I speak, sir?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Feedback is helpful for both teachers and students.
Are you
Actually,
sure? Are you sure?
yes, sir. In my view, it is helpful for both teachers and students.
It is
It
better for
gives.
both.
Sir, not able to hear your voice.
तो फोन में कहाँ जा रहे हो?
Yes, madam.
आप बोलो 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 बोलो
Sir, while when you have the feedback,
Yes.
असो
should I continue, sir?
Ah, yes, yes. I
Yes.
am waiting.
When we have feedback, it gives the subject for retrospection so that we can make proper amendments of the learning process or the classroom teaching.
Very good. What else?
बट एल्स और इसके अलावा और क्या?
I think it's from my side it is enough.
It is both ways that you will be improving your teaching as well as it will improve the learning of the students also. There will be atmosphere in which the students can ask questions and teacher answers the questions. And on the basis of the feedback given by the teachers, the students will improve. So it is better for both. Is it okay? If there is no question, I thank you all. Now after 10 minutes there will be valedictory program. So please be here. आप जाइएगा नहीं. Please wait for the next, that is valedictory program. So call the other fellows also who are outside your room. In one of the colleges, I am seeing only 6 persons sitting. हाँ, इस कॉलेज में बाकी लोग कहाँ पे हैं? ये मुलाना ये मुलाना फार्मेसी कॉलेज के बाकी टीचर्स कहाँ पे हैं? कॉल अदर्स.
Sir, they are coming.
मैडम बाकी टीचर्स कहाँ पे हैं?
Sir, they are coming.
They are coming. Okay.
Sir, I want to ask that in 10 minutes there will be valedictory ceremony.
After 10 minutes. Okay, say around 1.
Okay.
So please don't go.
Okay, thank you, sir.
क्योंकि हमें सब आप दिखाई दे रहे हो. मैं क्या हम सभी को देख रहे हैं यहाँ से, इसलिए जाइएगा नहीं. ये तो नहीं रिकॉर्ड कर रहे, ये भी रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है साथ में. Ganga Engineering College. Are you hearing me? आपने इवैल्यूएशन परफॉर्मा भर लिया कि नहीं अभी तक?
Sir, we are from MM College of Pharmacy. We have filled evaluation performer.
भर लिया जी। अच्छा, आपके कोई चीफ गेस्ट हैं?
सर जी चीफ गेस्ट जस्ट इनवाइट किया है, अभी 5-7 मिनट्स में आ जाएंगे.
अच्छा, 5-10 मिनट में आएंगे, ठीक है।
So good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So my request to both the colleges would be that Dr. Punya would be joining us in the valedictory session. He is presently in one of the valedictory sessions. So we'll wait for him, and maybe within 5 to 10 minutes we'll start. So I would like to know, sir, who has been invited? Dr. Kaushik, कौन ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं हमें वैलिडिक्टरी सेशन में? जी बोलो जी सर।
जी मैडम.
हाँ जी, वैलिडिक्शन में कौन एज अ चीफ गेस्ट आ रहे हैं अपने पास?
मैडम हमने इनवाइट किया है प्रोफेसर एन की बत्रा.
हाँ जी,
ही इज एचओडी एमएम इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज मैकेनिकल डिपार्टमेंट.
ठीक है जी। चलो मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट
हेलो.
करूंगी टू इंट्रोड्यूस हिम इन द बिगिनिंग. फाइन, थैंक यू. एंड गंगा इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज, गुड आफ्टरनून मिस्टर पुनीत. मिस्टर पुनीत सर.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
हाँ जी, so have you got the evaluation performer?
Yes, madam, we have got evaluation performer. I distributed it in the morning and I have collected the response of every participant.
चलो ठीक है. So anybody joining us in the valedictory session, the director or the principal of the college?
When the director sir is coming, and I think within 5 minutes he will be here.
नाम बताओ नाम.
Respected director sir, Professor Aman Agarwal.
ठीक है जी. आपको इंट्रोड्यूस कराना है सर को, मैं आपके पास आऊंगी. एंड रिक्वेस्ट 2 to 3 faculty members to share their reactions towards the program.
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ जी, 2
Okay,
to
ma'am.
3 faculty. They
I got
will
it.
provide. Okay. And Ms. Dr. Kaushik, even you can request 2 to 3 faculty members to provide the feedback in the valedictory session. ठीक है जी. बोलेंगे. Sir, we'll be waiting for Dr. MP Punya, who's joining us very shortly, and then we'll start with the valedictory session of the program. So kindly bear with us, and maybe by 10 past 1, we start the valedictory session.
विद इन couple of days इसमें भी हो सकता है। जैसे एक दो स्टूडेंट
पहले तो पुड़िया उतरो फिर इतने चढ़ जाओ।
या गुड आफ्टरनून मैडम। मैडम हमारे हमारे चीफ
हाँ जी,
गेस्ट
Mr.
या
Kaushif,
मैडम
give
या
us 5 minutes. Dr. Punya is another valedictory session and he's likely to wind up from there and he'll be with us within 5 minutes.
ओके ओके
तो 5 मिनट हमारे साथ बियर कर लीजिए एंड देन विल स्टार्ट, क्योंकि उन्होंने बोला है कि he
ओके
would like to be here in the valedictory session.
ओके मैडम मैडम our chief guest has arrived
Sorry,
प्रोफेसर
I'll apologize. I request sir kindly bear with us for another 5 minutes.
या
ठीक है,
मैडम our chief guest has arrived
मैं समझ गई आपकी बात, वही बोल रही हूँ कि सर को मेरी तरफ से अपोलोजाइज कर लीजिए, 5 मिनट रुक जाइए एंड देन विल
ओके
स्टार्ट।
ओके
हाँ जी,
ओके मैडम ओके ओके श्योर मैडम
थैंक यू सो मच।
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Anji, good afternoon.
Ma'am, this is Puneet from Ganga Engineering College.
Mr. Puneet, he is on way, Dr. Punya, and I'm also stuck up, and I'm extremely sorry that all of you have to wait for another
But
2 3 minutes.
our chief guest, Professor Dr. Aman Agarwal sir, has been arrived from 15
Just give me
minutes.
2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm going to start now. ठीक है जी?
Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
आ भी जाएंगे तो सब छुपाएंगे। ठीक है जी? So, good afternoon, everybody at Government College, Mulana College of Pharmacy, Ganga Engineering College, and I, Dr. Paramjit Tulsi, on behalf of National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research, Chandigarh, extend a very hearty welcome to the chief guest, Professor N.K. Badra, HOD MM Mulana Engineering College, and Director Professor Aman Agrawal at Ganga Engineering College to the valedictory session of the 5 days student evaluation program, which has been organized from 4th of August to 8th of August. So just to give you a brief of what has transpired during the last 5 days, this program aimed at enabling the participating teachers to understand the concept of student evaluation, the types of student evaluation, and the purposes which can be served by evaluation. The program, one of the program objective was to orient the teachers towards the range of evaluation techniques. And so we tried to cover written test, open book test, then the portfolios, peer evaluation rubrics, and self-evaluation. And the participants were provided hands-on experience to develop rubrics for group discussion, seminar, and communication. Then we had sessions on writing of test items primarily with the purpose to enable the participating teachers to identify the mistakes we commit in writing or framing question papers and improve the quality of the test items which form the part of any question paper. Then they also were oriented how to scientifically prepare a question paper whereby we can ensure the validity and reliability into the question paper. Participants also analyzed 2 question paper for the previous years, and they also gave us the changes which are required in those question papers based upon their understanding of what is it that constitute a good quality question. Then we had shifted our focus from theory to practical component, and yesterday the participants were given orientation regarding how to plan, organize, and evaluate practical work. So the various components, the process evaluation, product evaluation, general behavior, and viva voce, these 4 components were stressed with respect to lab experiments, field work, workshop exercise, industrial training, and then we had also taken up the project work, and we tried to elaborate upon what are the components of assessment and the parameters of assessment and how one should go about developing the rating scales or the rubrics for various aspects of quality for assessing student performance in the different types of practical work which is assigned to the students for developing skills among them. And I must say at this juncture that the participating teachers have been very, very active in taking up the task. No, no, please, sir. Taking up the task, and they tried to accomplish the various tasks which were assigned to them, and they had also made presentations on the tasks which were given to them and sought the peer feedback as well as the feedback from the expert panel from NITR Chandigarh. Today morning, director of the institute had given a brief orientation with respect to the outcome-based education and the assessment procedure to align the assessment to the course outcome. So he has given an overview of the outcome-based education and what changes are required in the existing system. Then we had another session on feedback. So when the student assessment has been carried out, so what is the significance of providing knowledge of results to the students and how corrective feedback can help in improving the students' performance. So we ended with this particular session, and now, sir, I take this opportunity to extend a hearty welcome to the Honorable Director, Dr. M.P. Punya, Director of National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research, to the valedictory session of 5 days program on student evaluation. Now I would request Dr. Kaushik to kindly introduce the chief guest to the audience.
Yeah. Madam, our honorable chief guest is Professor N.K. Batra. He is a HOD and professor of the Department of Mechanical Energy in our MM Engineering College, and he is having various publications in national and international journals, patents, and various credentials. Now, I am just welcoming Professor N.K. Batra.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
So it's
afternoon.
my proud privilege to be the part of this program based on ICT. First of all, I appreciate the efforts of Dr. Punia and your efforts as well as the efforts of other eminent personality for their efforts in this regard. Means I congratulate all the coordinates, not even at our institute, that MM Pharmacy College, but even at NITR Chandigarh for successful completion of this program. I've gone through your the details you have mentioned just a minute below, that you have touched all the parameters of the teaching. Definitely, it will enhance the, it will boost the teaching standards of every faculty member. So by these words, once again, I appreciate all the team members, either from our institute, at your institute, for their successful completion of this program. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the words of appreciation, and welcome to the valedictory session of the program. Now I'll request Mr. Puneet Garg at Ganga Engineering College to kindly introduce the chief guest and request him to say a few words. मैम थोड़ी सी कैमरा की
Good
सेटिंग नाउ
afternoon, ma'am.
और सेट करा लीजिए कैमरा नाउ इट इज ओके मैम यू आर एबल टू
Good afternoon, ma'am.
गुड आफ्टरनून
Revered Dr. Professor M.P. Punya, venerated Dr. Professor Sunil Dutt, and Dr. Professor P.K. Tulsi, it is my proud privilege and honor to get an opportunity to stand before you all and share the achievements and accomplishments of our Honorable Director, sir. I would be giving a brief overview of our Honorable Director, sir, Professor Dr. Aman Agarwal. Honorable Sir has about 8 years of industrial experience in various reputed companies like Atlas Cycles Industries Limited Sonipat and Goodyear India Limited Faridabad. He has a vast experience of about 24 years in various renowned colleges in and around Delhi. And the name of certain colleges I'll be listing over here, like BM College of Engineering Sonipat, Ideal Institute of Technology Ghaziabad, GPMCE Delhi, Maharaja Agarsen Institute of Technology, Rohini, Delhi, Guru Prem Sukh Memorial College of Engineering, and Geeta Engineering College of Panipat, and presently Sir is serving at Ganga Institute of Technology and Management. I can very proudly proclaim that Dr. Aman Agarwal was a university topper in his BE Mechanical from Amravati University. He pursued his M.Tech from Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Ludhiana. He was again the college topper. He earned his PhD degree from NIT Kurukshetra in the year 2008. He has undertaken various administrative responsibilities. He has worked as a Director Principal of Geeta Engineering College, Panipat, as Director Principal GPMCE Delhi, as Head of Mechanical Department and Automation Engineering Department, Maharaja Agarsen Institute of Technology. Besides looking after day-to-day working of the department, he played a pivotal role in NBA accreditation of the department, filling of compliance report, Modro form, filling the proposal of M.Tech in the institute, ISO accreditation of the department, SAE functioning the department. He has organized many entrepreneurship development programs for students and preparing the syllabus of M.Tech students in mechanical and automation engineering department. He has helped in comparing and coordinating various functions in the college, and he has been the paper setter and evaluator of IT University. He has also done a commendable job in the field of research as well, and Sir has guided many umpteen number of students in various PhD programs. And Sir's contribution for C Forum India, he has given a valuable contribution in Sustainable Energy and Environment Forum, which is a society led by Kyoto University, Japan. In India, IIT Delhi is representing it as its member. In the annual general meeting held for the year 2010, he was elected the Secretary of C Forum India, and he was invited to Jakarta, Indonesia to attend a 5-day workshop on preparation of draft proposal in June 2010. Besides this, he has won many prizes and awards. He has also taken guest lectures at various institutes of high repute. And Sir has got published many research papers in various national and international journals. And he has attended umpteen number of conferences, workshops, in-house as well as on national and international level. This is a brief overview that I could give. Thank you, ma'am. And now I would like to invite Professor Aman Agarwal to say a few words.
Thank you very much.
Respected Dr. Punia, Dr. P.K. Tulsi, and Dr. Sunil Tulsi. It is indeed a very good effort from the end of NITTR. In fact, when Puneet came to me for this, I was a bit reluctant whether it will be taken seriously or not. But to my utmost gratitude, I find that teachers are taking it very seriously and they are enthusiastic. They are very locked to their seats. In fact, yesterday I was calling Sumalata ma'am for some urgent work. I sent my PM to call her for a few minutes, but she didn't turn up. I was annoyed. When the program ended, I was scolding her, you don't feel the importance of director. She said, sir, it was very, very important for me. Then I realized I was somewhere wrong. So I appreciate the efforts that you people are putting up, and I hope that the same process will continue, and we look forward further support from you. Thank you.
Thank you because you have got the positive feedback from your participants, and we look for this kind of cooperation and collaboration in future from your side. Now I'll request Mr. Puneet to request 2 to 3 faculty members to kindly share their experience of attending the program with the audience. Over to Mr. Puneet.
Yeah, ma'am. First of all, I request our respected Neetu madam, HOD CSC department, please come forward for an important feedback.
Good afternoon to all of you. Myself Neetu Sharma from CSC department. So, in whole, I can give a few words about the complete course. That it is very, very beneficial, and in future also we will get more, we can say more processes and which we have learned from this course, that how we can evaluate, how we can assess the students, and moreover, we don't know. I am having personally, I am having 17 years of teaching experience, and still I don't know that what are the shortcomings in the question paper which we are generally using. So, like this is a simple example which I am using. So there are so many aspects which I have learned, and all my faculty and all the members which have attended your course, they have learned many things from this course. So I think there are many points which I have to discuss about each topic. So I have not much lengthy discussion beyond this topic. So in whole, it is very motivating and very interesting. So in future also we need many guidance from all of us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Puneet, for the feedback. Any other member would like to provide the feedback?
Yeah, ma'am. Our next participant is Dr. Poonam Hooda, head of the Department of MBA.
Good afternoon to you all. Hello.
Anji, good afternoon, ma'am. Please continue.
Ma'am, I would like to say a few words about this workshop. Actually, I feel that these types of workshops are really required to update the teachers. We have never thought about that how important it can be, evaluation, students evaluation, how we can use this student evaluation to enhance our teaching skills, how this can be possible with the help of various parameters and many things which were taught by you people. How it is important for students, faculty, and not only for parents but also for the society. How to evaluate practical work and industrial training. Many things we have learned, and obviously we talk about how to implement all these things we have learned from this workshop in the classroom, and how it can be important for the not only for students but for the whole institute and for all the education system of the country. This is a very, I should say, very good effort taken by you, and all the participants will be definitely benefited by this. So thanks, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hooda, for the words which you have spoken, and I think you have found the relevance of the program. So,
Madam, our next participant is Dr. Ravi Rana, Associate Professor, Applied Science Department.
Hello, madam.
hello. Ji sir, please continue.
Okay. Madam, let me take this opportunity to thank you, all of you people, for making us part of this wonderful program. Earlier, being as a teacher, I used to think that my job is to just put across the ideas to the student. But after this program, by attending this program, I have realized that I can motivate or indulge the students if I evaluate them more scientifically. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you have taken the point at home, and I'm very sure you would like to implement what you have learned in this program. So, Mr. Puneet, can I now shift to Mulana?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, participants, for the feedback. Over to Mulana College of Pharmacy. The participant कहाँ गए?
Yeah, madam. Actually, they have class from 1:35, so they have gone for lunch. Madam, sorry.
कोई हैं जो feedback देना चाहेंगे?
Yeah, madam. Dr. Aarti is giving feedback.
Okay. आओ जी.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ma'am, my experience of attending this workshop is wonderful actually. I was not of this opinion that this kind of workshop would be so much beneficial. But the way you have organized, every session was so much interactive that we actually enjoyed. And 5 days, how they have spent,
Actually, they flew by just. And the way the contents they were organized in the FTP, that was excellent. All the assignments which were given to us, they were very like thoughtful, and they could help us understand the concepts which could not otherwise have been possible for us. And to me, it's very beneficial in the way that when I analyzed the question paper during one of the session, I found that all the 8 questions framed in that question paper, they were wrong. So I was astonished that how we people are making mistakes in our day-to-day practices, and we are not even aware of these things, because as technocrats we have never been taught about these things. So to me, this workshop is really very fruitful, and I would like to practice these things in my day-to-day routine also, and I hope that my students would also be benefited by this, whatever I have learned from you. And there are some drawbacks also which I would like to bring into your notice. One thing is that whenever you were interacting with the other engineering college, the voice here was not audible. There was a lot of noise, and we were not able to listen that what you were telling to them or what question they were asking. So the communication which you were having with them, we were not able to understand. So I think that was due to audio problem, or maybe due to internet connection. We have slow internet connections in India, maybe because of that. And second thing that I observed is sometimes when PPTs were PowerPoint presentations were displayed, the background it was so light that we were not able to see the contents. So I think that the presentations for ICT, whenever they are prepared, dark background with larger font size should be used so that we are able to view it. And this was applicable to the video also, which was shown to us yesterday, in which evaluation of practical and assignments was done. So that video, it was not understandable to us, and we were not able to actually see the tables because the font size was so small. So these points can be improved. And one thing more, that because of refreshment they are not given by NITR this time. All the time teachers, they are going out for taking their own refreshments, and they are wasting a lot of time into that, because it's such a big campus and cafeterias, they are so far away. So it's very difficult to call the teachers back, and all the time we are making telephone calls to them. So I think refreshments, even small refreshment like tea may be provided. Otherwise, it was wonderful.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Aarti
ma'am.
Singh. And thank you for a very
Thank you.
valuable feedback, because we were looking for some of the suggestions which can go for the improvement of the program, and you have given us those 3 points. We would certainly like to improve upon these 3 points: the audibility, the quality of PowerPoint, and as far as refreshment is concerned, there was a provision for tea during sessions. Probably there is a communication gap. The lunch part was not there, but tea during sessions, that was very much a part of this program. So we'll certainly try to improve upon these components. Any other member would like to share the feedback if we have?
Yes, ma'am,
Ji,
there are.
ji,
Thank you,
please.
ma'am. Thank you,
And we
everyone.
look forward to such kind of participants in the program, the way you have participated. Thank you. Ji, any other member from Malana? अच्छा एक benefit class है ना उसे
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
good
It
afternoon.
was really very wonderful experience. And before this, we had never thought about so much points that should be considered while framing question papers. But the techniques that you have used for creating such question papers or assignments was very good. And we have learned so many new things in this workshop.
Thank you very much for the
And the
words of
most
appreciation.
important
Any
part is, ma'am,
suggestion हो? हाँ जी, suggestion कोई देना चाहेंगे?
I think everything was excellent there. There's no new suggestion from my side.
Thank you very much for the appreciation. एंड और तो कोई मेंबर नहीं बोलना चाह रहा अब? जी, so friends, thank you very much for the feedback you have provided for the program, and we'll certainly try to include the points which you have highlighted where the improvement is needed. We'll like to modify those issues. And now, friends, it is time to listen to the valedictory address by Dr. M.P. Punya. And for the benefit of the chief guests who have joined us, let me just give a brief introduction of the director to the chief guest. Dr. M.P. Punya is basically a mechanical engineer who has done his PhD from IIT Delhi. And prior to joining this institute, he was Dean Planning and Development at Malviya National Institute of Technology, Jaipur. And he has a very rich experience of 28 years at his back. And he has been instrumental in contributing his might to improving the quality of technical education in the country as a whole, and he was instrumental in revival of one of the institutions in Rajasthan which has now been declared a technical university, that is Government Engineering College Bikaner, and he was instrumental in setting up 3 more institutions including a center of e-governance in the state of Rajasthan, and he has been recognized for his meritorious services and awarded a state award by the government of Rajasthan. And since when he joined here in July 2012, he has initiated number of new programs and activities. And the program which the participant had experienced for the past 5 days is actually the vision of and the brainchild of Dr. M.P. Punya, because he has tried to integrate the technology and motivated the faculty and staff of this institute to go ahead with integration of ICT in training of teachers, and with his leadership and initiative, the institute has actually doubled the number of teachers trained annually. Earlier, we were able to train only 5,000 annually. Last year, we could train 15,000. And the target is increasing day by day. And we have started offering programs in different and diverse areas through ICT. Another is that we have been able to strengthen our master's degree program, our PhD programs, and then we have also entered into a new arena of taking up large number of sponsored projects from DST, from the Ministry of Social Justice, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, and other important ministries to give quality service to the technical education in the country. And under NAM, National Mission on Education through ICT, greater efforts are put in to create digital content, strengthen the infrastructure at the polytechnic and engineering colleges so that integration of technology can be done to improve the teaching learning for training of teachers and so on. So in addition to that, he has given a new direction by bringing the institution to the international platform. And we are likely to offer programs at the international level where we will be interacting with the people across the globe, and then trying to learn as well as share our knowledge with others in the field of entrepreneurship development. So with these words, I request Sir to kindly deliver the valedictory address in the 5 days program that is on student evaluation.
And thank you, madam. And dear participants at different centers, Professor Aman Agarwal, Professor Thukral, Professor Tulsi ma'am, and Professor N.K. Badra at Maulana. So first of all, I'll congratulate whole team of ours, and special compliments to Professor P.K. Tulsi, the type of comments which we are receiving. It's great. And As Mr. Aman was mentioning that one of the teacher he has denied to follow the instructions of director also. आपकी वजह से मैडम लोगों की जॉब भी जा सकते हैं
नहीं सर
अगर मानेंगे नहीं डायरेक्टर की बात तो जॉब जा सकते हैं but it was really something very special in the class. That's why that teacher has not left, even he has denied to follow the instructions of the director. That's really compliment for us. And for 5 days the way people were connected with us, seriously they were connected. And otherwise it seems that setting question paper is not something very serious. It's very easy. Everyone is setting hundreds of question paper we have set. But as one of the participants was saying that 8 questions we have, yes, 8 questions are tested and all were wrong. On all the basis of all wrong questions, even we have tested the students also, we have given the results, everything. So the type of training which we have given, I think it will be a wonderful addition in the knowledge of the teachers. They'll be much more confident. Their evaluation will be much more impartial. It will be much more serious, and students will be happy. That one of the teacher was saying no, that unrest will be lesser. Yes, that's great in fact. So the type of environment which we have provided for 5 days, and just for your information, Professor PK Tulsi was not feeling well because the studio which we are having, it is of a very small size. Earlier we were conducting program from a bigger studio. That ambience, the environment which we had in that studio, it was very good. But now many activities we have started simultaneously. At present 4 programs are going on. Today we are concluding 4 programs. One was on cloud computing, another one was is on networking, third one was on industrial automation, and fourth one is question paper setting. So 4 programs are going on simultaneously. On an average 3-4 centers, 5 centers are connected with this one, so 20 centers are connected. So that bigger studio which we used to have for this type of programs, now the studio which is in which we are sitting, it is smaller, and because the proper um, air circulation, everything is not there. That's why problems are coming. But even after these difficulties, on the way Professor PK Tulsi and her team has conducted this program, it is very good. I requested Professor PK Tulsi that these 4 modules which you are conducting, starting from instruction planning to delivery, then evaluation, students evaluation, and finally communication skills, she'll be bringing one common document for this one. And I hope in very shortly that document will be available to every teacher. It will be available soft copy and in the form of hard copy also. As far as these tea snacks are concerned, someone has mentioned last time or before that one that it's summer, sir, food is not needed. Why Nitra Chandigarh is giving? That's why we have done this mistake. We have stored this food, but at least tea snacks are available. Every teacher has to enjoy that facility which Nitra Chandigarh is extending. Our operation plan, whole operation plan for the year is available on our website. The programs which are conducting throughout the year from 1st April 2014 to 31st March 2015, all the programs are available on that website. And not only this educational technology programs, even content based program list is there. So please be in touch with us. And now we are connected with Professor PK Tulsi, Professor Bedi, Professor Thukral. So whatsoever problems are coming, please take their advice, and I think this should be continued. Whatever learning has started in this area, there is no end of this learning, so it should be continued. And I hope in time to come the programs which we are conducting, most of the benefit can be extended to these institutes which have started to connect with us. And we are not only limited to this northern part of the country, we are connected everywhere in the country. Even as Madam was saying, internationally, globally, we are getting recognition. We'll be connecting those countries also. So hope in time to come, the efforts which Nitra Chandigarh is doing, our team members are doing, it will give real fruits for the announcement, for the betterment of technical education of India. So thank you very much for connecting us and giving opportunity Nitra Chandigarh to interact with you. Best wishes.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us in the valedictory session and the words of encouragement and motivation. So, friends, I take this opportunity now to propose a vote of thanks. We are extremely thankful to the 2 chief guests who have joined us in the valedictory session, Professor N.K. Badra, the HOD from Malana Engineering College, and Director Sir from Ganga Engineering College, Professor Aman Agarwal, for their benign presence in the valedictory session of the program and the words of appreciation. We would also like to thank the management for taking this initiative, sponsoring the faculty for undergoing the program at the time when the classes have just begun. They have begun, and then they are participating in the various sessions of the program. I would also like to thank the two local coordinators, Mr. Puneet Garg and Dr. Kaushik, for their cooperation extended and making sure that most of the participants attend the session and take up the task seriously, and then made all the arrangements which were required to actually for successful completion of the program. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all the faculty colleagues, Dr. Bedi, Dr. Sunil Dutt, Mr. Thukral, and especially the leader of this institute, Dr. MP Punya, under whose leadership we have been able to execute the program. For their contributions which they have made during the conduct of the program by providing the input, by interacting with the participants, providing them feedback in the practice tasks, and also enabling us to have the PowerPoint presentations which will be uploaded on the Institute website soon. I would be failing in my duty if I do not extend my thanks to the teachers who have participated and who have made this course truly interactive and truly participative. I'm very, very happy at the end of this program because the task, we were little apprehensive that when we are sitting at far off places, how do we ensure that the participants would complete the task? But I'm really glad that the participants have taken serious interest in completion of tasks. They also made presentations. They also sought feedback from the peer groups, and they have got the feedback from the experts. And at the end, I would say that the importance of student evaluation cannot be minimized, and it is an important component, and we leave with the hope that whatever minimal learning we have been able to ensure amongst all of you, you will try to implement some of the points where you are convinced that this change is required in the student evaluation system, and thus enhance the reliability, validity, and objectivity of assessing the student performance in theory, in practical work, and employability skills, which have become very, very important in today's context. I would also like to put on record my sincere thanks to the technical team at Ganga Engineering College, at Maulana College of Pharmacy, and my colleagues at ETV Studio, who have been providing the logistic support for the implementation of this program, because without their being at our side, we will not be able to interact with each other sitting so far off. So I special thanks go to all of them who have contributed in one way or the other in establishing this network and ensuring that during the program we don't face problems of bandwidth or network loss, which is very, very important in the conduct of such programs. So thank you one and all for joining us. This is a beginning which we have made, and it's a long way to go. I would request, please make maximum use of the programs being offered by NITTR, maybe content matter, maybe interdisciplinary areas, or you would like to attend some of the programs at NITTR in a face-to-face situation, you are welcome. Or you would like us to come and conduct a program at your end, that also is possible. So you can exploit all the three modalities in training of teachers, because that is important to bring qualitative changes in the technical education system. So wish you all the best in the teaching profession. Hope to see you in some subsequent programs. Thank you very much, one and all.